Hello, Lovelace, and welcome to our next maths lesson. I hope you're all well. As you can see from the front screen, today we've upped the ante even more. Our numbers are getting bigger and bigger. We're now going to have a go at multiplying 3-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers. But once again, we'll start with a little warm-up. So here you go. 4 quick questions. Pause the screen and have a go at those. Okay, first one, nice and straightforward. 4 lots of 12, 48. 12 lots of 40, remember how we do these types? We're going to do 12 lots of 4, and then we've got a 0 in the question, so we need a 0 in the answer, 480. What about this one? 206 multiplied by 3. We can work this through. We can do it as a stand-up sum. We could say to ourselves, 3 lots of 6 is 18. 3 lots of 200 is 600. So 618. And then you'll notice question 4 is very similar to question 3, apart from these 2 zeros here. We're now doing 206 multiplied by 300. 2 extra zeros in the question, 2 extra zeros in the answer. Right, quick recap from last time. Remember, last time we were looking at 2-digit numbers multiplied by 2-digit numbers. This is how we set it up. Keeping our columns nice and neat. So when you're working out, keep everything nice and straight. All your ones in one column, all your tens, all your hundreds, and so on. So we're going to start over here in the ones. Have a think, how would you work this one through? So we'll start by really ignoring the 2 tens. They've not gone away. We're just going to ignore them for a minute. And we're going to do 6 times 41. So we'll start with 6 times 1. 6 times 1 is 6. That goes underneath there. And then we're going to do 6 lots of 4 tens. 6 lots of 4 is 24. So 24 tens gives us, we've got an exchange here, so 20 tens becomes 200s. 4 tens goes in there. 6 lots of nothing is nothing, and then we've got our 2 here. So we've got 200s there. Okay, so 6 lots of 41 is 246. We're now going to move on to the 2 tens, which we're just ignoring for a minute. And now we're going to do 20. Remember? 2 tens, it's not a 2, it's 2 tens. So 20 multiplied by 41. We're going to start with 2 lots. We're going to start with 2 lots of 1, or 20 lots of 1, I should say. Now, to help us out, we're going to put a space saver, a 0, here in the ones column. What that will do is it will push all our numbers out, make them 10 times bigger. It will mean that we can talk about this as being just a 2, because we've already made it 10 times bigger by putting a 0 in. Okay, so we'll put our 0 in, and now we're just going to think 2 times 1. Well, that's 2. 2 times 4, or 4 tens, is 8. So that can go straight in. Okay, and now we're just going to add everything together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 8 plus 2 is 10. So our 0 goes in, and our 1 is exchanged and becomes 1,000. Okay. So 41 multiplied by 6 is 1,066. Right, so now we're going to look at today's work, which is 3-digit numbers multiplied by 2-digit numbers. As you can see, though, the format looks just the same. And that's because it is. Okay, there's going to be one extra step to our question because we're now dealing with hundreds, but the method is exactly the same. Okay, so you don't need to worry just because the numbers are getting a little bit bigger. Once again, we're going to start in the ones column. So this time we're going to ignore these two tens just for the time being. So just ignore that they're there, and we're going to concentrate on the 3 ones. we're going to do 3 lots of 132. We're going to start with the ones. 3 times 2, 6. 3 lots of the 3 tens is 9 tens, and 3 lots of the 100s is 300. Okay, so this first part of our answer is just the answer to 3 lots of 132. Now we're going to move our attention to these 2 tens, and we're going to do the 2 tens, or 20, multiplied by 132. We just put in our space saver. That's 0. That's going to push all our numbers out. They're 10 times bigger. And it means we can just think about this as a 2 now, because we've already adjusted. We've made that adjustment. We've made it 10 times bigger. So we're now just going to think about this as a 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Just putting them in the next column as we work our way along. And then 2 lots of the 100. 2 lots of 1 is 2. Okay. And our final step, add it all through. 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 4 is 13. So our 3 goes in the answer. We exchanged the 10 tens for 100. So that gets carried across. 6 plus 3 is 9. Plus the 1 that we carried becomes 10. So our 0 goes in the answer. And the 10 hundreds becomes 1,000. And then we've got 2 plus the 1,000 we've carried across is 3. So 132, sorry, I will go back to that, brush that a little bit. So 132 times 23 is 3,036. Okay, so exactly the same method, just that one extra step, because we're now dealing with the hundreds, not just the tens and the ones. Right, one for you to have a go at. Pause the video and have a go at 326 multiplied by 32. I'll be looking out for this in your screenshots when you upload onto Tapestry. Okay, so we're going to start by doing 2 lots of 326. 6 lots of 2 is 12, so our 2 goes into the ones, and the 10 moves into the tens column as an exchange. Then we're going to do 2 lots of 2. 2 lots of 2 tens is 4, plus the 1 that's here is 5. And finally, 2 lots of the 300s is 600. Okay, so 2 lots of 326 is 652. We're now going to deal with the 3 tens, and we're going to do 326 times 30. We'll start by putting our placeholder, our 0 in. That makes everything 10 times bigger and allows us to think about this as a 3. 3 lots of 6 is 18. So our 8 goes in their answer, and then the 10 value moves across. 10 tens becomes 100. We're now going to concentrate on 3 lots of 2, which is 6, plus the 1 that we've carried, gives us 700s there. And then finally, 3 lots of the 300s is 900. I can go straight in. And finally, add it all through. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 8 is 13 tens. So our 3 can go in, but the 10 value gives us 10 tens, gives us 100. So that gets exchanged across. 6 plus 7 is 13, plus the 1 that we've carried across gives us 14. Again, the 1 can carry across, the 4 goes into our answer. And finally, 9,000s plus the 1,000 gives us 10,000s. Altogether then, 326 times 32 is 10,432. Well done if you've got that one right. That's tricky. Okay, here are your questions for today. I will just move myself out of the way for you. There we go. Pause the video, and there's 4 questions for you to have a go at. Here we go. Here are our answers. Please do make sure you are marking your work. It just allows me to focus on any mistakes, and so we can talk about moving our learning forward. So do go through and just make sure you check. So this first little group, A, 13 times 3, 39. Then 13 times 30, we realize there's an extra 0 in our question, so we need to put an extra 0 in our answer, 390. 130 times 2, 260. 130 times 20, there's that extra 0, so we make sure we've got the extra 0 in our answer. 25 times 4 is 100. 25 times 40 is 1,000. And 204 times 4, 816. 204 times 40 is 816 with a 0 on it, so 8,160. Well done if you've got those 8. Question 2, working through the multiplication. This time, the only thing missing was the addition stage at the bottom. So if we add those through, we get 3,003. 2b, we're missing the addition part and also recognizing the 2 parts of the question. So we've got 512 multiplied by 4 and 512 multiplied by 20. That allows us to fill in that box. Number 3, Brett is calculating 216 times 23, but he's made a mistake. Can you see what the mistake is? Well, the mistake is that he's treated this top line as the 10 value. So he's put the 0 in on the wrong line. The 0 should be in on this second line down, okay? Because this is the line multiplying by the 3. So we don't need the 0. We do need it when we're multiplying by the 2, because this is 20, this is 2 10s. So the 0 should be here, and these digits moved across. So if you do it correctly, your answer should be 4,968. And finally, 4 questions here. I would expect in your notes to see the full workings out. Nobody can do these questions in their head. Okay, so make sure you're setting them out. Let me have a look at your working. But there are your answers. 4A is 4,402. B, 15,502. C is 11,342. And D is 4,392. Right, Dora, Alex, and Teddy have worked out 248 multiplied by 21. And these are the 3 answers. Dora thinks it's 2,978. Alex thinks it's 5,208. And Teddy thinks it's 7,688. We're going to use estimation to help us check who is correct. Now, estimation means just working out things out roughly. We're not going to work out these calculations. That would take us a bit too long. So we're going to do an estimation. We've got 248 multiplied by 21. We're going to round each of these to much nicer, friendlier numbers. And then we're going to see which of the children are closest. So we're going to say that 248 is nearly 250. It's a nice approximation. It's a nice estimate. And we're going to say that 21 is nearly 20. Okay? Now, 250 times 20 is a much easier question. And that's something we can probably do in our heads, because we can do 2 lots of 25, and there are 2 zeros in the question. So 2 lots of 25 is 50. So 250 times 20, remember, 2 extra zeros. What's 2 extra zeros in the answer? So it's 5,000. And the only child who is close to 5,000 is Alex. So we can estimate that Alex is correct. Okay? Does that make sense? Rounding the numbers to nice friendly ones. So instead of 248, we're dealing with 250, a much nicer number. 21 becomes 20 because it's a nicer number, easier for us to work with, so we can make a sensible estimation as to what the answer is. Right. Estimate each side of the equation and write less than, greater than, or equal to complete the statement. So we've got 181 multiplied by 24 and 112 multiplied by 63. I would like you to round these numbers and make an estimation as to how big the answer is. Just have a think. Right, let's have a look. 181 is nearly 200. 24 is about 20. So that's quite a big rounding, but it's a nice, easy number for us to work out. 200 multiplied by 20, I think we can manage that one. 4,000. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, and there's 1, 2, 3 zeros in the question. 1, 2, 3 zeros in my answer. What about this side? Well, 112 is about 100. 63 is about 60. And if we do that calculation, we're going to get 6,000. 1 times 6 is 6. 1, 2, 3 zeros in the question. 1, 2, 3 zeros in the answer. So 4,000 is less than 6,000. So in our statement, 181 multiplied by 24, we can say is less than 112 multiplied by 63. Mo orders muffins for a party. He orders 12 boxes of A. You can see there's just one in box A. He orders 20 boxes of box B, and you can see there's 10 in a box B. And he ordered 14 of box C, and you can see there's 12 in box C. How many muffins altogether? Okay, let's have a look. Have a think and work it through. Okay, well, let's start with the 12 boxes of A. Well, that's just 12 lots of 1, which is 12. That's a nice, easy start. Box B, he's got 20 of those. And there's 20 boxes of 10. So there's 200. And then the tricky one at the end, 14 of box C. So 14 lots of 12. Well, we can do that by saying 14 lots of 2 is 28. And 14 lots of 10 is 140. You can see we've partitioned the 12. So altogether, we've got 168. So there's the 3 boxes. Altogether, it means we've got 380 muffins. How many muffins does Mo order? He orders 380. Now, if each muffin costs 24 pence, how much does Mo spend on muffins? There you go. So 380 muffins, 24 pence each. Have a think, work that one through. Okay, well, we're going to start with our ones. 4 lots of 380. So 4 lots of 0 is 0. 4 lots of the 8 tens is 32. 2 in, carry the 3 across. 4 lots of 300s is 12 hundreds. Plus the 3, it gives us 1,500. So 1,520. Now we're going to deal with the 2 tens. 380 times 20. Let's put in our space holder. Move everything 10 times bigger. So now we can talk about this as a 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16. 6 goes in. The 10 gets carried across. And 2 times 3 is 6, plus the 1 that's there is 7. Okay, and now we're just going to add through. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 6 is 11. 1 in, 1 carried across. 1 plus 7 is 8, plus the 1 that's there is 9. So 9,120. That's pence. Okay, 9,120 pence. Now, if 100 pence is the same as a pound, how much does Mo spend in pounds and pence? Okay. Well, we need to divide by 100. Okay, so 9,120 divided by 100. There's our 9,120. And to divide by 100, all the digits in the number need to move 2 places to the right, 2 places smaller. So let's do that. The 0 moves into the hundredths column. 2 moves into the tenths column. The 1 moves into the ones. And the 9 moves into the tens. So we've got £91.20. Right, now it's your turn. This is our work for today. Questions 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pause the video. Have a go. Okay. There are your answers for today. Please take a moment to work through and mark them, checking you've got them correct. And if you have made an error, have a look back through, see if you can work out where and why you've made a mistake. That's the end of the lesson. I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.